Here's something strange about humans. People will avoid embarrassment, even if it means experiencing physical pain. We stay silent instead of asking questions. We endure discomfort instead of speaking up. We'd rather suffer quietly than look foolish publicly. This isn't weakness, it's psychology. Imagine this. You're in a room. A question is being asked. You know the answer. Your heart starts beating faster. You open your mouth. Then you close it. Not because you're wrong, but because you're scared you might be wrong. So you stay silent, and no one notices. Except you. Humans will endure physical discomfort. They'll tolerate stress. They'll accept real consequences. But they will rearrange their entire behavior to avoid one thing: embarrassment. Why does a few seconds of social exposure feel more dangerous than actual pain? And what exactly is your brain trying to protect? Today, we're opening the Cognitive Vault to find that out, so make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. Number 1. Your brain processes embarrassment like physical pain. Neuroscientists have found that social rejection activates many of the same brain regions as physical pain, especially the anterior cingulate cortex. That's not poetic, that's biological. For early humans, survival depended on belonging. So if your tribe rejected you, you didn't just lose friends, you lost protection, food, safety. Rejection could mean death. So your brain evolved to treat social mistakes as warning signals. Embarrassment isn't just a feeling, it's an alarm system. But the problem is we no longer live in tribes that fight for survival. But your brain still acts like you do, and why is that? When you stumble over words in a presentation, your nervous system reacts as if your position in the group is under threat. That rush of heat in your face, that tightening in your chest, that's ancient wiring firing in a modern world. Number 2, the spotlight effect makes you feel watched. There's another layer to this. Psychologists call it the spotlight effect. Humans dramatically overestimate how much other people notice them. If you spill water in a meeting, your brain says, "Everyone saw that. Everyone remembers that. Everyone is judging that." But here's reality. Most people are thinking about themselves, their deadlines, their insecurities, their own embarrassing moments. Yet your brain zooms in on your mistake like a spotlight in a dark room. And here's the curious part. The embarrassment you feel is often larger than the event itself. Your brain doesn't measure what happened. It measures how exposed you feel. That's why a small mistake can feel enormous. Number 3, your body reacts to embarrassment like it's danger. This is where it gets interesting. Research shows that people avoid asking questions in classrooms or meetings, not because they don't care, but because they don't want to appear ignorant. Students would rather misunderstand material than risk looking unintelligent. Employees avoid correcting mistakes to avoid drawing attention. People stay in toxic environments to avoid the embarrassment of leaving. Think about that. We sometimes choose long-term suffering over short-term embarrassment because pain is immediate and clear, but embarrassment threatens identity. Pain says, "This hurts." Embarrassment says, "This is who you are." And your brain protects identity aggressively. That's why embarrassment can feel heavier than a physical bruise. A bruise fades, but a hit to your self-image feels permanent even when it isn't. Number 4, embarrassment threatens your identity, not just your feelings. Notice what happens physically when you feel embarrassed. Your heart rate spikes. Your face warms. Your thoughts scramble. Sometimes you forget simple words. You laugh awkwardly, or you go completely silent. That's not weakness. It's your fight-flight-freeze response activating. When your brain detects social threat, it shifts into protection mode. Blood flow changes. Cognitive flexibility decreases, and your body prepares for defense. But instead of running from a predator, you're trying to finish a sentence. And this mismatch is why embarrassment feels overwhelming. Your biology is reacting at full intensity to a moment that will probably be forgotten in 24 hours. Number 5, the older you get, the heavier it feels. Children fall, laugh, and move on. They mispronounce words publicly and recover in minutes. Why? Because their identity is still flexible. They're not protecting a fixed self-image. Adults, on the other hand, build narratives about who they are. I'm competent. I'm smart. I don't make mistakes. So when embarrassment happens, it doesn't just feel like a moment. It feels like a crack in identity. Ironically, the older you get, the lower the real social stakes become, but the heavier the emotional weight feels. Because you have more identity to protect. Embarrassment isn't your enemy. It's an outdated survival mechanism doing its job too well. Your brain still believes social exposure equals danger. But here's what changes everything. Most embarrassing moments disappear from other people's memory far faster than they disappear from yours. The alarm feels loud, but the threat is small. The next time you hesitate to speak up, ask yourself, am I protecting my survival or just protecting my image? Because once you see embarrassment for what it really is, it loses some of its power. And that silence you've been choosing, it might not be safety. It might just be fear wearing a logical mask. If this made you reflect on moments you've avoided just to protect your image, you'll enjoy what we explore here. Cognavault dives into the psychology behind everyday behavior and the hidden patterns shaping your decisions. Subscribe for more videos like this. And comment, what's something you once avoided because you didn't want to look foolish? You're not alone.